Hey guys, Richard here at Liza's room, but in my own room again, hence the bookcase in the background. So this is my review, slightly overdue, on Book 5, Allies, Fate of the Jedi series. So as usual, spoilers for this series, nothing leading up to it, but nothing after. So yeah, I'll straight on to it. So Book 5, Allies, basically continues from the last one. You've got pretty much the culmination of the Abeloth plot. More Jedi being driven mad by her, the Force user from the previous one who wasn't a full Jedi but had a potential. He gets infected by it next, and then Luke and co end up on the planet where Abeloth is. So you kind of get a full Abeloth conversation, which is quite cool. Allied because Luke is allied with the Sith, and as it's that's Vestar's dad, which is quite cool. Though why Luke looks like some sort of ghost on there, I'll never know. So it's basically him allying, and of course he gets help. You got Lando, which is quite cool. Jaina, she basically leaves Coruscant to help. Jaina's plot first, it's a good one, but phone sliding. Same as before, although sadly she breaks off her relationship with Jag because Jag won't help, while Darla is still being completely insane, and she just ends it with him. But they're gonna get back together. You don't need to read. Yeah, you know that's coming. It's being delayed, stalled over and over their relationship, but it's going to keep happening. It's gonna happen eventually. It's quite cool. So Jane and Lando end up on a plot where they're resolving a slavery storyline. So it's something that's building up in this series as well. In this case, the planet Clantooine. The natives have got to deal with the Hutts. The Hutts protect the planet because they've got this rare like glass thing, statue which is like perfect, and their Hutts meant to protect it. And the Sith, for no obvious reason at all, decide to attack it. The Hutts show up, and Jaina and Lando have to basically resolve the dispute. Like, did the Hutts act quickly enough? That didn't, but the argument is the Yuuzhan Wars like affected them like everyone else, so it took them longer, but they still protected it. But yeah, it feels like a dodgy way to keep them, the Hutts, and likewise other slavers in control. And a big part of this is, of course, other planet says rebellion's happening, and there's like a subplot involving some reporters investigating it all, which is quite cool as well. But that's kind of it for that. So that's getting, looking like a good story. It's getting to its build-up point, which is going to be quite cool. So yeah, the main bit is, of course, allies being Luke and Ben with Vestara, her dad, and now other Sith as well, onto a planet where Abeloth is, and this is quite cool. So turns out Callista, Luke's ex-girlfriend from the Bantam era, has somehow merged with Abeloth. Weirdly enough, I actually bought the Callista trilogy, as they call it, Planet Twilight, etc. recently. I was picking up some older Star Wars books. I thought, never read the ones that got the terrible reputation, like Crystal Star. But then there's also the really good ones where like Shadows of Mindor, or Midnor. I just got for cheap, and using eBay, a lot of sellers always have offers: buy two, get one free, get one half price, etc. So I thought I'd pick up the Callista trilogy and then New Rebellion as well. And I haven't read it yet, but I knew who Callista was, and seeing her returning in this is kind of cool. Some little books like to do bring back characters who've been gone for a long time, so I don't really know what happens to her in detail. I won't go into any spoilers, might know it already, but yeah. And Luke and Ben were feeling a comforting presence on the ship. Luke feeling particularly familiar, loving one. That was Callista reaching out to him, which is kind of mad because he thought it was Mara Jade, but Mara's like they're able to communicate with Mara's ghost or spirit in the same place where the Sith have some problems with people that don't particularly care for them, telling Luke that that was not her presence aboard the ship at all. So he gets to a fight. Luke confronts Abeloth slash Callista. He realizes there's nothing of Callista left in there. It's just using her face. He decides to attack. A mass fight breaks out. As if a bunch of them get killed. And while Abeloth possesses the Force-using non-Jedi again, because she basically tried to suck his essence out of him earlier on in the book. What was his name? Dion Stad, I think it was. Doesn't help that he's not in the DP for this. Holder. And yeah, Luke basically sees that she's using his face, takes her down with his lightsaber, and that's it. Plot's over. Book 5, but there's still 4 more to go, so who knows? But Luke and the Sith realise their allegiance still needs to continue for a while. So that's basically the main plot of the story, what's going on with the allegiance Luke has to set up. So you've still got Jedi being driven mad. You've got Tahiri's trial, which is pretty cool. Tahiri's on trial for murdering Playan, and of course, Darla still wants the Jedi taken out, put in control of her, etc. And yeah, it doesn't look good for her. She's got a really good Bothan lawyer who really knows what he's doing, even knows how to pull on the sympathy card from the audience. But ultimately, in court, comes out that So he was very much under Jason's influence and had no choice but to follow his orders. But of course, her killing Pelon seemingly wasn't ordered, and that comes against her. And yeah, so it's not looking good for her. But who knows? Then you got your next plot, which is Darla's insanity. She's still convinced that I need to be reined in, even though, well, Luke took punishment for what Jason did. Kent Family's been doing, making every compromise he can, and she's not enough, and she basically sends the Mandalorians to siege the temple and out murder the young Jedi who is Kent's assistant, which is really cruel. And of course, she acts like she's done nothing wrong, even though her right hand man knows this is really bad, and he's seems like the only voice of sanity. You got the leader of the Navy who actually makes a deal with Kent. We don't see what it is, but it's seemingly not really a good one for the Jedi, but good to do for now. And in the end, he ends up getting imprisoned by a couple of people posing as insane Jedi. Speaking of which, when Abeloth dies, whether she's dead or not, who knows, but that basically frees the madness over all the Jedi, like Valinhorn, etc. So I'm looking forward to, once he gets uncarbonated with his sister. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. It just feels like one of my biggest criticisms with Legacy of Force is, because in the book spanned about a year as well, the whole series, there was just too much going on. You've got so many things happening, but it was all quite rushed and kind of never felt like enough as well, along with Jason's motivations being completely insane as well. It needed more books. The war should have lasted longer, and it feels like a similar thing with this. Jason basically turns evil, got delayed, dragged out on top of all the other stuff. And by the point that book 5 was his no going back moment, or I argue it's book 1 with a different Jedi. But similar thing with this. If Abeloth is really dead in book 5, what are we going to do for the rest of the 4 books? Who knows? But that's it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll eventually have the next one up.